はい。今まであんまり学会に参加したことがないから、プレゼンテーションすることも結構ナーバスなんですけど、長い、ハイキングするっていうのも普段あんまりしないから、それも結構ナーバスでダブルナーバスですけど、でも、その反面、なんかいろんな、自分と興味の関心が似ている人たちと集まれるっていうところと、あと、外で話せるっていうのが、なんか結構、歩きながらっていうことですごいカジュアルな気持ちでできるのと、よく知らない相手もたくさんいるんですけど、なんか、より教室とかその学会の会議室みたいなところで話すより、多分雰囲気がいいし、こうオープンな気持ちになれるので、話しかけやすいかなと思っていて、で、私のにも話してもらいやすいかなと思っているので、その環境とか皆さんの雰囲気についてはすごく期待してます。
Everybody, welcome to TeToWaWo, and this is our 5th rendition of this workshop, and it's the last for 2025, and we've been blessed with the weather. My name is Johan, and I've been running these workshops. I belong to an association called TEFI, Tourism Education Futures Initiative. And the idea with TEFI is tourism education is not right now. We need to do it values-based. We need to do it based on something that is more than just short-term profit and short-term win-taking. So TEFI really instills the idea of that tourism should always be on the community's ground. It should be what locals actually want.
Okay, good morning everybody. My name is Carolin Funck. I have been involved in Setoda since I came to Hiroshima, which is more than, 25 years. I came in the last century. And I got the chance of writing the history of the town. And so this place basically has 3 economic bases. One of them is shipbuilding, lemon. So all the Seto Inland Sea has a lot of citrus fruit growing. And this island has specialized on lemons. So they're kind of sharing, like this island produces this type of citrus, this is a different type to diversify in the market. And the third one is tourism. And the reason for tourism is there is a very big temple which is different from other temples because it is new. It was created by a rich person from the island. Starting from that, when it was decided that there will be bridges built across these islands connecting the island of Honshu and Shikoku, the mayor decided to promote tourism through different means. So 20 years ago, the cycling boom started in Japan, and the cycling route across here has become one of the most visible international cycling routes in Japan. It's one of the mecca of cyclists.
My research sits between film geography and film-induced tourism, with a special focus that I have had on especially the concept of sense of place. And my field sites have been focusing on the Hiroshima prefecture, mainly Hiroshima City and Onomichi City. I want to focus a little bit more on Hirayama Iko Museum, which is the place I completed the internship. So a little about the painter himself. He was a native of Setoda, and he was born in 1930, who was a prominent Nihonga Japanese-style painter. So what gradually got my attention more to Hirayama's artistic vision was the centrality of place and travel in his paintings, since he was also a travel painter himself, which was quite connected to my interest about place and place attachment. And one of the most memorable components of the internship was retracing the locations of his paintings, especially the ones that were in Setoda. It directly led me to the creative practice section of my undergraduate thesis. The idea of it was examining filmmaking tourism, and as a part of this project, we had a creative production of a short film called Nozomi, which was located in both Onomichi and Setoda. A small note on my tourism teaching experience was Hiroshima University's teaching fellow programs in graduate school. So this program was the point that I can finally shift my place-based experiences into, and my research work is into a teachable, concrete curriculum for university courses. And this was, as a part of this design, Setoda both came as a content but also research method for fieldwork storytelling, for the point that how we can translate theoretical conceptions into meaningful real-world place experiences.
How can we immerse students in places so that they feel right for them?
What we need to consider from the student-centered perspective, consider what their interests are and bringing these various options of place and types of activities.
私たちは10年前にこちらに引っ越してきて改良しました。10年前にまず物件を探した時には夫が自転車のメカニックをしてます。自転車のプロショップで働いてたんですけど、で自転車のお店を自転車で有名な街でしようと思って物件を探しに来たんですね。で、その紹介してくれた不動産の方がこの建物ちょっと商店街の奥だけど江戸時代に建てられた面白い建物があるよっていうことでここを紹介してくれたんですね。でそこで私たちがここを見学した時に、すごく広いっていうのとちょっと人通りが少なくてのんびりしてる。それでサイクリストで有名なしまなみ海道なんですけど、自転車を販売するよりも自転車で訪れた方が立ち寄りやすいカフェにした方がいいんではないかとこの建物を見て。それで私たち音楽もするのでミュージシャンなので音楽のイベントだったり、カフェ地元の方が利用するカフェだったりサイクリストが寄れる複合的な施設にしようということで今やってます。
大丈夫です。ここに人はこの島をレモンアイランドと呼びます。
So this place is basically called the Lemon Island, as it says here on the signboard.
父親の代がからレモン農家をしてまして、だいたい45年ほど前から。はい。で、私2代目なんですけども、10年前から、農家を、継がせていただいております。レモンを中心に柑橘をだいたい22種類ぐらい栽培してて、農法が、農薬とか肥料を一切使わない、自然栽培っていうので、全て栽培しております。
I'm Edo, my full name being Eetu Antti Hartikainen, and I'm currently a second year PhD student at Hokkaido University. And as Johan Sensei mentioned, I was recently back in Finland in September and October to teach a course at my alma mater, University of Helsinki. In addition to just teaching tourism content, if I'm going kind of specifically back to Finland just for teaching, I wanted to also have some sort of pedagogical innovation and utilize kind of what I've been learning here at like Hokkaido University about like multimodalities specifically. So I decided to design the course in a fashion that you could do written assignments if you wanted to, but then they all, you could replace any of these assignments with any other kind of multimodal assignment format, but then I encourage students to kind of find a way that was suitable for them to do the reflection. For example, if you are inclined towards drawing your own experiences and what you felt in the course or lecture, you were able to do that, or draw some sort of diagram. Or for example, if you go for an evening walk or jog, you can just take a recorder, like smartphone with you, and record, for example, what you thought about the course. Or if you want to return to an audio-visual format, for example, video was one option, or making like a vlog of what you learned and what you thought at the lecture.
I mean, beside the written text, because you mentioned that's probably still the most common one, but beside that, which one of the creative practices were preferred by the students?
I would say, like, looking at the entirety, video was one that I was like surprised about, like that people actually like wanted to utilize, because I also read in the reflections that some students were really afraid to kind of show their face and like perform in front of the camera.
Actually, I really enjoyed it too, because I can record my good memory in Japan. And I see clean water, nice landscape, and fresh air. I really enjoy it.
Yeah, I feel like it's very unique, first of all, because it included a lot of like local people, and you can just ask them, which you don't get this opportunity often somewhere else. And also, I feel like this island, because I grew up near a fishing village, so it's really nice to experience different culture here in Japan, like the island culture.
Yeah, I like it too.
Today, instead of traditional presentation, I would like to invite you into a shared sensory experience. And this aligns really closely with my own research on arts-based approach and sensory learning in tourism. So for my research project, I'm exploring why value-based tourism education is important, specifically or especially in field courses or field work, whatever it may call, for tourism students, and how creative processes can foster or support their transformation. In the reflection paper, another person said understood something only after starting to draw. So in other words, drawing wasn't simply expressing what they already knew, it was a process of discovering something new, and people recognized relationships of scale, movement, and balance of layers they hadn't noticed before. So this shows that creative expression can recognize perception, a key principle of arts-based research.
Quite often when we're doing drawing, you get that sense of, I'm not an artist, how can I do this?
Yes. Of course, some people who didn't have any artistic background participated, and these people, they mentioned that it's so hard to express what they want to, or it's not the same as what they imagined.
In today's presentation, I want to talk about the possibility of manga to be used as a tool for self-presentation. This manga is about intangible cultural heritage tourism. The reason for me to focus on intangible cultural heritage and comics is because this category of heritage is heavily dependent on the subjectivities of community and the group. So it's always fluid and transformable. And it's about the narratives the communities and people would like to create about their identities and their cultures. So we were thinking that, then maybe since comics are a type of visual narratives, so maybe creating comics can contribute to the transformation of intangible cultural heritage. This was another reason why we did this project. People tend to think that, drawing the comics sounds difficult, since you must be good at drawing, then you can create attractive images, but this is not the case. Actually, there is a Japanese scholar whose name is TeToWaWo. He's a professor working at Tokyo Polytechnic University. So he has this experiment called Tamachan. So it's basically, the very basic idea is that everybody can draw a comic. Everybody can draw a manga. So actually, to create a good manga, you have to do 3 things. The first thing is visual design. And second element is to have a story. You have to be a script writer. And the third thing is to be a director. It means that you have to know how to tell a story with visual language. But now we are going back to TeToWaWo's experiment. But in Tamachan, his experiment, he actually simplified manga creation to a very extreme extent. In this experiment, you don't have to do visual design because all the characters are presented with a circle.
Wow, that was a really heavy hill. Why is it at the end of the walk? Well, we thought the view was great and the light in the evening. But really, it's too much. Is there anything good for me? Well, yeah, I have some lemon cake.
I just saw a bear in the woods. And the other one says, "Really, weren't you frightened?" And he says, "No, I wasn't. Maybe it was only a koala bear."
It was an absolutely incredible experience, and I feel really privileged actually to be a part of something so unique and with extraordinary, interesting, kind people. Yeah, I think the benefits for everybody, for the communities that you do the walks in, because it's low impact. But it's connection. I think certainly for myself, I got to learn in different ways as well. I got to meet people who are interested in similar things, so that's been really beautiful as well. And I've learned a lot myself. You know, we come to a conference to learn. And when I say a lot, you always learn at a conference, but you don't get to play and interact with in a natural environment.